a gay professor in college. I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or whatever, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. I had a...
All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakar giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom taught me this truth. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in both truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. This brother Kratazah from the Fountain of Living Waters, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This lesson being entitled, Obama is pushing alphabet bullshit. Right, so, I mean, we heard the 40-second video of him encouraging people to not only, get their advice from these alphabet people, but to have some squares in your circle, so to speak. You need them around. You need them in your friend group, just in case you have a son, that's a little alphabet boy. They can have somebody to look up to. They can have somebody to talk to. Which this is like the most bugged out shit ever. So they got him, which everyone knows he is alphabet, right? A for alphabet. But everybody knows that he is alphabet. It's highly rumored that his so-called wife is also a transformer, a Decepticon, should I say? But let's listen to this one more time.
Gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line.
Right, so let's look that up real quick. So it says, when did the stigma of alphabet activity end? The stigma associated with alphabet activity has not ended completely, but significant progress has been made, particularly in the latter half of the 20th century into the 21st. The American Psychiatric Association removed alphabet activity as a mental illness from its diagnosis and statistical manual in 1973. So for the longest, they thought something was literally wrong with you. You had a mental illness if you did some alphabet activity, right? And then it says this is a major turning point, though it took further advocacy and changes to the DSM to fully remove related diagnoses like ego dystonic alphabetism. That's what I'll say. We can clearly see the word. So I have never heard of this. So I just did a quick search, and ego dystonic alphabetism now categorizes ego dystonic sexual orientation, refers to a situation where an individual experiences distress or conflict due to their alphabet activity attraction, feeling that it is at odds with their desired self-image, right? So what it's saying is you want the world to see you as, a ladies' man, so to speak, or, a masculine man, a strong dude, but really you a punk. Really, you enjoy the company of other alphabet men, right? So now you're at odds with yourself. Now you say self-hate yourself, which this is a, what do they call it, a mental disorder, because you're fucking up your own mind, right? It says you're experiencing distress, which is pretty much stress or conflict due to you being an alphabet, because you know it's wrong. You know in your heart of hearts you ain't supposed to be doing no shit like that. If you ever been convicted by something that you done, you know that shit weighs on you. It'll have you be talking to yourself every time you look in the mirror. You look at yourself, with some kind of disgust, because you know what you did is wrong. They say murderers. You can never. There's something you can never come back from. You have taken a life. And people genuinely do feel bad about that. Their mind is never the same. So yeah, this is a mental disorder, and ultimately, it's a demon. But Obama is he's pushing it. You need these squares in your circle, is what he's saying. In fact, let's get a quick scripture real quick. Isaiah 19:14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err, and every work thereof, as a drunken man that staggereth in his vomit. Now, what's this perverse spirit that's mingled in the midst of America, right? Going back to Leviticus 13, 20 and 13. Says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood should be upon them. Now, I wanted to take it a step further and get it in the NOT, because it just straight up says it. It says, if a man practices alphabetism, having sex with another man as with a woman, both men have committed a detestable act. Let's look at this word, detestable. It's detestable. Abominable, very odious. It's from the Latin detestabilis, execrable, abominable, from detestiare, to curse, to excrete, to abominate. This is the thing most hateful. All right, most hateful. The top of the list. There's not too much more that you can do that's worse. Eating pork and living the alphabet life. That's the standard of detestability. It says they both must be put to death, for they are guilty of a capital offense. And that's why they're fucked up in their head, because they know and they understand that it's a detestable act and a capital offense.
Who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that.
I wonder why he became one of your favorite professors. Maybe he could have been the one that turned him out. He could have been, I don't know, maybe he had a crush on him. Who knows? Barry. Bear with me, don't want to hit play. Come on now. I'm hitting the button.
That was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group. I had a gay.
All right, right. Yeah, we're gonna just leave it at that. But he said that you need somebody that's gonna call you out when you know, going too far. You about to cross the line. Well, what line are you crossing? Because for me, it sounds like that he was mad that he may have been saying some non-alphabet friendly words. I'll put it like that. And then the Decepticon, or not the Decepticon, but the excuse me, but the alphabet guy, the alphabet professor, you know, corrected him. And he says that you need one of these guys in your friend group to help, fix the friend group or help. It says Barack Obama says all young boys should have a mixture of male role models and friends, including a alphabet person, so that they don't grow up ignorant. Well, let's look up this word ignorant. Lacking wisdom or knowledge, unaware. Well, if you're lacking wisdom or you're unaware of anything alphabet related, that's probably a good thing. What does the scripture say? The knowledge of wisdom is not knowledge. Something like that. Sirach 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. So he wants you to put, a square in a circle. He wants you to put a sinner in your counsel for prudence, and that's not what the scripture says. Why would you go to someone who, does that abominable act to himself for advice? And he over here with another nigga. I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. I don't want him in my presence. Much less add him to the circle. Much less having children asking him for his advice. You out of your rabbit fucking mind. In fact, let's jump down here real quick. Right, so this is Jeremiah 51 and 19. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. Right, so when Jake, get into the alphabet community, they're the A, the B, and the C. They put the A, the B, and the C in the alphabet community, if you understand what I'm saying. They're extra with it, very flamboyant, very over the top. When Jake, because Jake is the former of all things. Now, Jake didn't start this, alphabet stuff, but when Jake got involved in it, they took it to the next level, if that makes sense. They went pro, in alphabet activity. And it used to be shunned, just like Obama said, just like, the AI said back in the day, it was shunned. But now it's being put on Front Street. Now, they have rights. Now you can't say this. You can't say that. You have to say that there's 47 different genders and 23 different sexes. I don't know how that works. Don't ask me. But it's just a fucked up world that we live in, man. Just a fucked up, crazy world. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And, they push that alphabet agenda here, and it just spreads, man, like a fucking cancer throughout the world. So now you're having all these people, think that, maybe it's okay to do that, when it's not okay. It's never been okay. It never will be okay, But as long as Babylon's going, you're gonna have puppets like this fool, who our people were confused. He threw the blinders over a lot of majority of our people because they consider him, he's a little light skinned. They consider him as quote black. And here we go. Obama, 63, whose own father was absent in Kenya during his upbringing, right? Said that even if boys have a great dad, they need more than one role model. So he's not American. He's not African, so-called African American. He's Kenyan. All right, he's a Hamite, and his mom is an Edomite. That's why he looks like a light-skinned Jay. But they allow him to throw the blinders on over our people, man, and lead them astray. All right, but that's all I really wanted to get with this one. Lord's will, this is edifying. And, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, El Shai, by Hashem. We're Karkadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. Shalom.